Good afternoon, Ma'am Bani.
Ay, yes. Tony, baka mag-start na, tinatawag lang akong DDGA online.
Yes po. Noted po, ma'am. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Ma'am, sir, I think Attorney Frank and Attorney Rob is having connection issues lang po. Andyan na po si Attorney Frank. Attorney, we will just have a slight delay on our meeting lang po. We will just fix the technical issues. Our apologies po. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. The presiding officer just texted me or just messaged me that he is having audio problems right now, but he is present. He is present online, but he asked me if I can momentarily facilitate the meeting. Perhaps, Secretariat, can we do the quick roll call first and for the determination of the quorum, please? Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney. For today's BAC Charlie meeting, please acknowledge once your name is called. Our presiding officer, Attorney Roberto Martin Benaventura, is online. Lieutenant Colonel Valentino Janela.
Present, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir. Engineer
Yes, good
Cecilia.
afternoon. Good afternoon, present online.
Miss Amneris Gabriel, she's also online. Miss Diana Ines Briñas.
Present online.
Good afternoon, ma'am. For our end user from the ADMS, Engineer Rogelio Antolin. For the back technical working group, our head, Attorney Frank Edward Marty.
Present.
Attorney Edelisa Irugin.
Present po
Engineer,
online.
Engineer Alexander Abag.
Present ma'am online.
Engineer Raul Cosena.
Present ma'am online.
Engineer Michael Ian Ilagan. Engineer Darwin Lintag.
Present. No, online.
Engineer Eva Lasatin.
Present, ma'am, online.
Engineer April Joy Puruganan.
Present po.
Engineer Joferan Joseph Torrefranca. Engineer Norik Baez.
Present and good afternoon po.
Engineer Gary MJD.
Present ma'am, online.
Engineer Adelio Arganda.
Present po, online.
And Miss Maria Cristina Balonon.
Present online po.
And ma'am, for the back secretariat, Dr. Rolly Bayaban, Irish Presion, Miss Melina C. Reyes,
Online.
Mr. Sonny Villabert,
Present, good afternoon po.
good afternoon, sir. Mr. Thomas Duc Santos, Miss Eloisa Casimiro,
Present, ma'am.
Miss Charisma Aquino, Miss Sofia Fulmaran,
Present
Yes,
po
also.
online.
good afternoon, so Miss Sandra Serdan, Mr. Nathaniel Tordesillas, who is also online, and our minutes taker, Miss Rita Linda Pileo. We also have observers from the COA, from the IAS, the OTR, PCCI, and ASFI. That's all, sir.
Okay. Since considering that we already have a quorum, may we now proceed to the main agenda of today's meeting, which is what is the first item of the agenda, Ms. Secretary, please?
Sir, the first agenda is the Mlang Airport Development Project, rehabilitation of passenger terminal building, construction of 10,000-gallon steel water tank, construction of drainage system at VPA, and construction of transformer yard, amounting to 31,576,981 pesos and 54 centavos, an ADMS DOTR downloaded project.
Do we have prospective bidders for this project?
Yes, sir. We do have one prospective bidder for this project, sir.
Can we now admit them before we proceed with the presentation?
Sir, there are other bidders online which are not part of the Mlang Airport which did not inquire. They inquire for the other projects. Can I also admit them, sir?
We can only admit those who inquired for the Mlang Airport in order not to confuse the other bidders during the presentation. Because if we are going to admit all, this might create confusion in terms of like the information that we will be providing. So for this item, we will only admit those bidders who inquired for the Mlang Airport Development Project.
Copy, sir. I will admit them, sir.
Good afternoon, Miss Jane Sangil. Ma'am, for records purposes, good afternoon. May we request you to state your name and the company you represent, please? Miss Jane Sangil. Anyway, Miss Daisy Hernandez. Good afternoon, ma'am. Can you state your name and the company you represent, please? Well, anyway, in the interest of time, we will just first proceed with the presentation. TWG, who will be presenting from the ADMS.
Engineer Cosena, Mr. Chair.
Okay, go ahead, Engineer Raul.
Thank you, sir. Sir, may I proceed for my share my presentation?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay. Madam Secretariat, kita na po yung presentation.
Yes, sir. Kita po.
Okay. To begin po, good afternoon, Mr. Chair, and to the member of the BAC Peace and Awards Committee, and to the prospective bidder who's online. Good afternoon po. To continue, I will present now the pre-bid conference for Mlang Airport Development Project, rehabilitation of passenger terminal building, construction of powerhouse, construction of vehicular parking area, provision of concrete curbs, sidewalks, wheel stop, and pavement markings at BPA, construction of 10,000 gallon steel water tank, construction of drainage system at BPA, and construction of transformer yard. With bid number 21-025-10 Charlie. The procuring entity is the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines for the said airport. The funding source is the GOP for the GAACY 2021 from the OTR downloaded project with the amount of 31,576,981 pesos and 54 centavos. At ITB clause number 3, the site certificate of site inspection to be signed by engineer Jose Manuel Sadam, or his duly authorized representative. A note that the contractor who will conduct site inspection shall coordinate with engineer Sadam prior to site inspection in order for him to delegate a representative who will accompany them to the project site. On your screen is the contact number. Also, this shall include all the following documents as attachment to the certificate of site inspection and shall form part of the bidder's technical documents. Copy of the company ID of the person who conducted the site inspection, copy of the airport facility visitor logbook, pictures of the proposed site including the personnel who conducted the site inspection together with engineer Jose Emmanuel Sadam or his duly authorized representative. Bid not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. This is the sample, the certificate site inspection, company ID, logbook. For ITB 5.2, for this purpose, similar contracts shall refer to contract which have the same major categories of work, which shall be building, construction, improvement, rehabilitation, and repair. ITB 7.1, subcontracting is not allowed. For ITB 10.1, bidder shall submit all eligibility and technical documents as specified in Section 10, checklist of technical and financial document. For ITB 10.3, valid pickup license or special pickup license in case of joint venture as a registration, medium A, category B for vertical works, building and industrial plant for the type and cost of the contract to be bid. Bid not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. For ITB 10.4, the minimum work experience required for key personnel are the following: for the project engineer, electrical engineer, master plumber, master electrician, construction foreman, and safety and health officer. General experience with 5 years in general engineering and relevant experience in 3 years in building, construction, improvement, rehabilitation, and repair. Bid not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. This is the minimum, for ITB 10.5, the minimum major equipment requirement are the following: jackhammer, dump truck, one bagger concrete mixer, concrete vibrator, welding machine, and others. For ITB 11.1, discount is stated in the financial bid. Form shall be computer written with the same font, style, and size as of the whole text of the said form. Discount that are either handwritten, typewritten, or computer written in order other font, style, and size shall not be considered. Bid not complying with the above instruction shall be disqualified. For ITB 11.1, the second envelope shall be contain the financial document for the bid as specified in section 10, checklist of technical and financial document. This shall include the complete accomplishment of all the following documents as stated in and required under section 8 of the Philippine bidding document and shall form part of the bidder's financial document. Letter A is original or duly signed and accomplished financial form. B, bill of quantities or BOQ. C, summary of bid proposal. D, bill of materials and cost estimate. E, summary sheet indicating the unit price of construction material, labor rates, and equipment rental used in upcoming with the bid. F is the cash flow by quarter and payment schedule. Note that the modification or alteration on the stated requirement in the financial document from BOQ, summary of bid proposal, bill of materials, and cost estimate shall not be allowed. Applicable CAAP BAC standard form included in the Philippine bidding document shall be complied in accordance with the prescribed form under Section 9 bidding form Annex A to B. Bid not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. For ITB 11.2, bid exceeding the ABC of the project shall be disqualified. For ITB 15.1, bid security shall be in the form of bid securing declaration or any of the following forms and amount. The amount of not less than 2% of ABC if the bid security is in cash, cashier's manager's check, bank draft guarantee, or irrevocable letter of credit. B, the amount of not less than 5% of ABC if bid security is in surety bond. For ITB 16, each and every page thereof shall be initialed, signed by the duly authorized representative of the bidder. Submitted eligibility, technical, financial documents shall be properly marked with index tab, your tab, and must be sequentially paginated in accurate order in form sample 3 of 100, page number of last page of the document per envelope basis. Pagination shall be sequentially based on the entire span of the whole document inside the envelope. Bid not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. This is the sample illustration for the table of content, index tab, and initial and pagination each page. For ITB 16, each bidder shall submit one original copy of technical component and financial eligibility component. For ITB 16, all envelope must be labeled as follows: name of the contract to be bid in capital letters, name and address of the bidders in capital letters, name and address of the procuring entity identified in ITB clause number 10.1, where the specific identification of this bidding process indicated in the invitation to bid, where a warning do not open before the date and time for the opening of bid in accordance with ITB clause 21. For ITB 16 also, the procuring entity's address is Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, Mia Road, corner Ninoy Aquino Avenue, Pasay City. The back chair is Captain Donaldo A. Mendoza. For ITB 17, the address for submission of the bid is the back office, Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, Mia Road, Pasay City. The place of the bidding is the CAAP conference room at the CAAP. The date and time of submission is on November 5, 2021 at 2 p.m. ITB 19.2, partial bid is not allowed. The infrastructure project is packaged in a single lot and the lot shall not be divided into sublot for the purpose of bidding, evaluation, and contract award. For ITB 20, the bidder with the lowest calculated bid that complies with and is responsive to all the requirements and conditions shall submit the latest income tax and business tax return filed through the electronic filing and payment system, business license and permit required by law, latest audited financial statement, and key personnel license. Failure to submit any of the post-qualification requirement on time or findings against the veracity thereof shall disqualify the bidders for award. For ITB 21, the following relevant project documents are required to be submitted by the successful bidder who submitted the LCRB as part of the contract agreement during its signing. Contract schedule, bar chart and S-curve, per CPM network diagram, manpower schedule, construction method, and equipment utilization schedule. Construction safety and health program approved by the Department of Labor and Employment for Mlang Airport Development Project Rehabilitation of Passenger Terminal Building, construction of powerhouse, construction of vehicle parking area, and so on. This is the sample CAAP standard form. For the checklist of the technical and financial document, for Class A document, legal document, valid PILGEPS registration certificate, registration certificate from SAC, DTI, or CDA, mayor's or business permits, tax clearance, statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contract, statement of a bidder's single largest completed contract, PCAAP license, original copy of bid security, project requirement which shall include the following: organizational chart for the contract to be bid, list of contractors, key personnel, list of contractors, major equipment unit, original duly signed omnibus form statement, and also shall include the following: certificate under oath attesting that they have no pending case against the government, and the legal clearance to be issued by the CAAP Enforcement and Legal Service. As stated before, the certificate of site inspection duly signed by Engineer Jose Emmanuel Sadam of Davao International Airport, and the contractor who will conduct the inspection shall coordinate first with Engineer Sadam prior to site inspection in order for him to designate a representative who will accompany them to the project site. And the contact number is here. And this also include the copy of the company ID who conduct the site inspection, copy of the airport visitors logbook, and the pictures of the proposed site, including the site inspection together with Engineer Sadam or its authorized representative. For the financial document, the bidder shall submit the prospective bidder's audited financial statement, prospective bidder computational net financial contracting capacity or the NFCC. For Class B document, if applicable, duly signed joint venture agreement in accordance with RA 4566 and its IRR in case the joint venture is already existence. For financial component envelope, original and duly signed and accomplished financial bid form, original duly signed bid price in the bill of quantities, summary of bid proposal, bill of material and cost estimate, summary sheet indicating the unit price of construction material, labor rates, and equipment rental, cash flow by quarter, and payment schedule. For the project technical details, for the scope of work, the project covers the supply of labor, material, tools, equipment, and construction-related permit necessary for Mlang Airport Development Project. The duration of the project is 210 calendar days, inclusive of 14 rainy and workable days. For the scope of work again, number 1 is the SPL, mobilization, demobilization, rehabilitation of passenger terminal building, civil works, under the civil works is site works, concrete works, masonry works, steel work, moisture and thermal protection work. For architectural work, under it is tile work, ceiling works, painting works, aluminum composite panel, signage, door and windows, toilet partition, concrete countertop, and accessories. For electrical works, lighting and power conduit and fitting, wiring cable, electrical wiring, lighting fixture boxes, ACU, power supply, panel board and meeting, and support. For mechanical works, air conditioning, ventilation, hanger support. For plumbing, site work, sewer line, water lines, storm drainage, septic tank, fixtures, and accessories. For powerhouse, civil structural, site works, concrete work, masonry, steel and waterproofing, architectural style works, painting works, ceiling works, and doors and windows. For electrical, lighting and power conduit and fitting, electrical wiring device, lighting fixtures, boxes, ACU, and so forth. For mechanical works, air conditioning unit and piping, ventilation equipment, accessory, hanger, and support. For plumbing works, fixture, water, wastewater, cold water lines, storm drainage, gas basin, septic tank. For vehicular parking area, it's item 1512, excavation, embankment, aggregate base course, Portland cement, concrete pavement with the 250 millimeter thick. Provision of concrete curb, sidewalks, wheel stopper, and pavement marking at BPA. For civil structural work, site work, concrete work, steel works, painting works. For the construction of 10,000 gallon steel water tank, civil structural, site works, concrete works, steel works, electrical works, plumbing works. For the drainage system at BPA, civil structural, site works, and concrete work. For transformer yard, civil and structural work is site work, concrete work, masonry works. For SPL2, temporary facility, staff house, and service vehicle. All scope of work for the project must be in accordance with the approved plans and specification. Quality and types of material must be approved by CAAP project engineer, project in charge. For the general provision for the staff house, service vehicle, laptop, printers, camera, plotter, furniture, and other material, devices, and equipment under special item of temporary facility shall be included in OCM and CP, contractor's profit. The contractor shall be responsible in providing safety perimeter fence or security fence, personal protective equipment for staff and workers on the site with condition is ongoing. Safety report shall be prepared regularly. The contractor shall be responsible for all laboratorial testing, building and safety permit, and survey instrument necessary in the project implementation. This expense shall be incorporated in the contractor's overhead costs and shall not be considered as pay item. For the site development plan, this is the site development plan for the apron. The perspective of the terminal building, passenger terminal building at Lang Airport. And the perspective of the powerhouse, construction of powerhouse. This is the elevation plan for the construction of the elevated water tank. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Engineer Raul. I will just be facilitating the question and answer at this point, since Attorney Rob is not yet done fixing his audio right now. So at this point, may we request our bidders, should you have any questions or clarifications, you can now raise it. Before raising any questions, can you state your name and the company you represent? Bidders, may mga questions po kayo or clarifications? We have here from Versontal Infrastructure, Miss Jane. Ma'am Jane Sangil. So, kung wala po kayong tanong, sa ngayon, you still do have the chance to raise your questions or clarifications. We just stress na it is 10 days before the opening of bids po. So, the opening of bids is on November 5, Engineer Raul, no?
Yes po, November 5, 2 p.m.
So, 10 days before, 10 calendar days before November 5 po, sana po ma-submit nyo na yung mga tanong ninyo kung meron man or point of clarification in order for the TWG and the end user, and also for the BAC to respond to these questions. Okay po, I think wala naman pong question si Ma'am Jane Sangley from the Horizontal, unless we have other bidders pa. Okay, since we still have two projects, let us close this matter now. We will be having the opening of bids on November 5, 2 p.m. po. Please take note na lang po, ma'am, for the Versontal Infrastructures. Thank you very much for attending po, ma'am. So let us now proceed to the second item, which is the Sangley Airport Development Project Phase 2, construction of 2 units hangar, construction of 2 units pump station, sheet piling works, site development, airside strip, reclamation works, and open drainage amounting to 460,600,000. Secretariat, I think we have typo error in the amount here. It's 460 million. This is also an ADMS DOTR downloaded project. Do we have bidders for this?
Yes, sir. We do have bidders waiting online.
Sige, perhaps we can already admit them. Okay. Good afternoon to all our prospective bidders. Welcome to the pre-bid conference for the Sangley Airport Development Project. For records purposes, may we request the prospective bidders to introduce, kindly state your name and the company you represent. We will start with Mr. Ernesto Uy, sir.
Yes, thank you, Attorney Frank. Good afternoon. I'm Engineer Ernesto Uy, Authorized Managing Officer of Sino Construction Corporation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Good morning. Miss Joberlin Ferrer, ma'am.
Hello, good afternoon po. This is Joverlyn Ferrer, Liaison Officer of DASA Builders po.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Miss Mary Chris Marasigan. Ma'am.
Good afternoon po. Good afternoon.
Go ahead, ma'am.
From Untitled
Ma'am, from what?
Corporation po.
Thank you. Miss Liv.
From Global V Builders Company, Olivia Rivera, Executive Assistant, VP Finance.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ma'am. And also from Dyson Construction and Trading Corporation. Dyson, please. From Vicente Lau Construction.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Go ahead, ma'am. Yes,
Hello?
ma'am. Good afternoon po.
Sorry po, sir. Good afternoon po. I'm Rosita Oropesa from Vicente Lau Construction.
Okay. I think, did I miss anybody pa from the bidders, prospective bidders? Well, anyway, later na lang din po. Miss Peach Chan, 1419, ma'am. Can you state your name and the company you represent po? Miss Peach Chan?
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, this is from AKN and Monte One Construction Corporation.
Ma'am, your name, please.
Isabel Crame.
Okay, good afternoon. So, okay. ADMS TWG, may we now proceed with the presentation of the bid documents for this project?
Yes, good afternoon. Attorney Frank, can you confirm if you can see the shared presentation?
Yes, we can now see the document, Engineer Mike. Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon, BAC members and prospective bidders. I'll be presenting the pre-bid conference for Sangley Airport project. So for under the bid data sheet, procuring entities CAAP with the name of the contract. Sangley Airport Development Project Phase 2, construction of 2 units hangar, construction of 2 units pump station, sheet piling works, site development, air side strip, reclamation works, and open drainage canal. The identification number for the contract is number 21-024-10 Charlie. The funding source is from the DOTR downloaded funds JA CY 2021 in the amount of 460,610,038 pesos and 4 centavos. ITB3, the certificate of site inspection shall be duly signed by Mr. Monico B. Basaliote, Airport Manager of Sangley Airport, or his duly authorized representative. And this shall include the following documents: copy of company ID of the person who conducted the site inspection, copy of the airport facility visitor's logbook, picture of the proposed site, including the personnel who conducted the site inspection together with the airport manager or his duly authorized representative. Bids not complying shall be disqualified. So this is the form of the certificate of site inspection and the sample illustration of the company ID and the airport visitors logbook. ITB 5.2, bidders must have an experience of having completed a single largest completed contract that is similar to this project, equivalent to at least 50% of the ABC. For this purpose, similar contracts shall refer to contracts which have the same major categories of works, which shall be, number 1, building construction, improvement, rehabilitation, and repair, amounting to 116,314,793 pesos and 22 centavos. And 2, upgrading, improvement, rehabilitation, or reconstruction of unpaved road and or earthworks, amounting to 342,009,158 pesos and 9 centavos. ITB 7.1, subcontracting is not allowed. ITB 10.1, bidders shall submit all eligibility and technical documents as specified in Section 10 checklist of technical and financial documents. ITB 10.3, required pickup license for the project are the following. Number 1, medium A, license category B for building and industrial plant, and large license category AA for road, highway, pavement, railways, airport, horizontal structures, and bridges. Bids not complying with the instructions shall be disqualified. ITB 10.4, this is the minimum work experience requirements for key personnel. With the general experience must be 5 years in general engineering and relevant experience of 3 years in building construction, improvement, rehabilitation, repair, upgrading, improvement, rehabilitation, construction of unpaved road and or earthworks. Bids not complying shall be disqualified. ITB 10.5, this will be the minimum major equipment requirements. And then bids not complying shall be disqualified. ITB 11.1, the discount stated in the financial bid form shall be computer written with the same font style and size as of the whole text of the said form. Discounts that are either handwritten, typewritten, or computer written in other font style and size shall not be considered. Bids not complying shall be disqualified. ITB 11.1, the second bid envelope shall contain the financial documents. This shall include the complete accomplishment of all the following documents as stated and required under Section 8 of this PBD and shall form part of the bidder's financial documents. Original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form, bill of quantities, summary of bid proposal, bill of materials and cost estimates, summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, equipment rentals, cash flow by quarter, and payment schedule. Please note that modifications and or alterations on the stated requirements in the financial document forms, BOQ, summary of bid proposal, and bill of materials and cost estimates shall not be allowed. Applicable CAAP BAC standard for forms included in the PBD shall be complied with in accordance with the prescribed forms under Section 9 bidding forms Annex C. Bids not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. ITB 11.2, bid exceeding the ABC shall be disqualified. ITB 16, each and every page thereof shall be initialed signed by the duly authorized representative of the bidder. Submitted eligibility, technical, and financial documents shall be properly marked with index tabs and must be sequentially paginated in accurate order in the form of example page 3 of 100. Page number of last page of the document per envelope basis. Pagination should be sequential based on the entire span of the whole documents inside the envelope. Bids not complying shall be disqualified. one envelope. Meron dito.
Wala na, inayos na.
So this is the sample illustration of the table of contents, the index tabbing, page number, pagination initial every page. ITB clause 16. Each bidder shall submit one original copy of the technical component and financial eligibility documents. All envelopes must be labeled as follows: name of the contract to be bid in capital letters, name and address of the bidder in capital letters, name and address of the procuring entities BAC identified in the ITB clause number 1.1, bear the specific identification of this bidding process indicated in the invitation to bid, and bear a warning: do not open before the date and time for the opening of bids. The address, the procuring entity address is CAAP Mi Road, corner ng Ninoy Aquino Avenue, Pasay City, Metro Manila. And the chairman for the BAC Charlie is Captain Donaldo and A. Mendoza. ITB 17, the address for submission of bids is back office CAAP. And the deadline for the submission is at November 5, 2021 at 2 p.m. Partial bid is not allowed. So we will go through again with the checklist of the technical and financial documents. For the technical component envelope, first, the valid field jobs registration certificate from SEC or DTI, mayor's or business permit issued by the city or municipality where the principal place of business of the respective bidder is located, tax clearance, statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract, similar to the contract to be bid, PCAAB license or special PCAAB license in case of joint ventures, original copy of bid security, if in the form of surety bond, submit also certification issued by the Insurance Commission, or an original copy of notarized bid securing declaration. For the technical documents, project requirements, we shall include the following: organizational chart for the contract to be bid, list of contractors' key personnel, list of contractors' major equipment units, which are own list and are under purchase agreements, original duly signed omnibus sworn statement, and included are the following: certification under oath attesting that they have no pending case against the government, legal clearance to be issued by the CAAP Enforcement and Legal Service, bid bulletins if applicable. Certificate of site inspection, which includes the following: copy of the company ID of the person who conducted the site inspection, copy of the airport facility visitor's logbook, picture of the proposed site, including the personnel who conducted the site inspection, together with the manager and his duly authorized representative. For the technical component envelope, the prospective bidders' audited financial statements, the prospective bidder's computation of net financial contracting capacity, if applicable, duly signed joint venture agreement, and duly notarized statements from all the potential joint venture partners. For the financial component envelope, the original duly signed accomplished financial bid form, original duly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities, summary of bid proposal, bill of materials and cost estimates, summary sheet indicating the unit prices of materials, labor and equipment rentals, and cash flow by quarter and payment schedule. We will go now to the project technical details. So the duration of the project is 360 calendar days, inclusive of 38 rainy and unworkable days. So for the scope of work, SPL1, mobilization, demobilization, SPL2, temporary facilities, which includes the staff house for the project management office and service vehicle. For the architectural works, we have tile works, ceiling works, painting works, aluminum composite panels, signages, doors and windows, toilet partition, concrete countertop and accessories. For electrical works, we have lighting and power conduit and fittings, wires and cable, electrical wiring devices, lighting fixtures, boxes, ECU power supply, panel board and metering, feeder conductors, feeder conduits and fittings, metal accessories, voice and data system, fire detection and alarm system. Under mechanical works, we have air conditioning unit and piping, ventilation equipment and exhaust duct, hangers and support. For plumbing works, we have site works, sewer line system, water line system, storm drainage system, septic tank and catch basin, fixtures and accessories. Under the construction of 2 units hangar, civil structural works, site works, concrete works, masonry works, seal works, moisture and thermal protection works. For architectural works, we have tile works, drywall works, painting works, ceiling works, and doors and windows. For electrical works, we have wires, conduits, and boxes, lighting fixtures and wiring devices, panel board, feeder wires and conduits, transformer termination, and accessories. Mechanical works, air conditioning unit and piping system, ventilation, equipment and accessories, hangers, and support. Plumbing works, site works, sewer line system, water line system, storm drainage system, septic tank, catch basin, and trench drain, and fixtures and accessories. For the construction of 2 units pump station, civil structural works, site works, concrete works, masonry works, waterproofing works, architectural works, painting works, doors and windows, then electrical works, wire conduits and boxes, lighting fixtures and wiring devices, panel board and power supply. Then for mechanical works, the diesel engine driven water pump and pipings, and plumbing works. For the sheet piling works, polyvinyl chloride sheet pile, concrete works, advanced anchorage, tension rod and accessories. Then letter D for the site development of the airside strip, removal of structures and obstruction, clearing and grabbing. Then reclamation works, the back works, holding and relocation of armor rocks. And then drainage works, civil structural works, site works, concrete works, masonry works. And that's all. All scope of work for the project must be in accordance with approved plans and sub-specifications. Qualities and types of materials must be approved by the CAAP project in charge. The contractor shall be responsible for all laboratory material testing, building and safety permits, and survey instruments necessary in the project implementation. These expenses shall be incorporated in the contractor's overhead costs and shall not be considered as pay item. So this is the site development plan of the project. So this is the area for the reclamation works. and the area for the proposed 2 units hangar. This is the perspective of the 2-unit hangar. Reclamation area. That's all, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Mike. So at this juncture, we are now entertaining questions from or point of clarifications from our prospective bidders. May we request, should you have any questions, may we request you to state your name and the company you represent before raising your question.
Hello, good afternoon, sir. I'm Rosita Oropesa from Vicente Tilao Construction.
Yes, go ahead, ma'am.
Sir, may dalawang question po ako, sir. Okay lang?
Yes, go ahead po.
Sige. Ang una, sir, tanong po namin kung anong specs po ng PVC sheet pile.
Okay. ADMS, please. ADMS end user. The VTLAW is asking for the specs for a particular item. Engineer Mike.
Wait lang po, Attorney Frank. They are looking at.
Sige po. Ma'am, sige po ma'am, while for VTLA, while the ADMS is looking for the technical documents, ma'am, ano po yung second question niyo po, ma'am?
Ay, okay, sir. Yung second question ko, sir, yun sa section 16.0, yung binasa kanina, sir. Ang nakalagay kasi, each bidder shall submit one original copy for financial and technical. Di wala ng copy, sir?
Yes po, ma'am. Ka-clarify lang po namin yung bago po naming requirement following the GPPB latest na 6th edition ng Philippine Bidding Documents. Ang sinasubmit na lang po, isang copy ng technical component as isang copy ng financial component. So, wala na pong copy 1, copy 2 po.
Okay. So, original na lang, sir.
Original na lang po, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yun po yung nakalagay po sa bagong bidding documents ng GPPB po. 6th edition.
Okay po. Kasi sa bidita sheet, sir, may copy pa kasi original.
Yes, ma'am. We will issue po the necessary bid bulletin to clarify that, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
You're welcome po. Engineer Mike, are we ready to answer yung sa first question po ng VTLAW?
Not yet, Attorney Frank. Can we go back na lang daw? Pag okay na.
Sige po. Balikan na lang po namin kayo, ma'am, sa question, sa answer po ng end user po regarding po dun sa specs.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay,
Any other query po from our prospective bidders?
Good afternoon, Attorney Frank.
Yes, yes, sir. Ernie.
Yes. Yeah. Yesterday we sent an email to the Secretariat for some inquiries. Can we follow up the answers of those?
Okay.
Or can we discuss it here?
Meron po kayong mga written. May we ask, may written queries na po. May we ask na lang po sa Secretariat to confirm if you have received the written clarification queries from what company, sir?
Sino Construction.
From Sino Construction. Secretariat, please.
I will verify, sir.
Sir, we will check first, sir. But rest assured, sir, since nagpadala po kayo ng letters po, the secretariat will forward it to the end user and the technical working group in order for them to respond, to prepare the letter response in writing din po. And should there be a necessity to issue a bid bulletin for your clarification, we will do so, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Yes po.
Sir, in addition to that, meron pa kaming dalawang ihahabol sana.
Sige po, sir.
Okay. Dito sa form, dito sa DUPA, sir, sa DUPA, item 2.0, nakalagay sa DUPA is the 2.02 doors and windows, which if we try to look at on the summary of the BOQ, it should be 2.05. So in the DUPA, it's 2.02, while in these are the doors and windows of the hangars, while in the BOQ it should be 2.05.
Thank you, sir. ADMS.
Then, yeah.
Yung first lang po muna, sir. We will check on sila.
Sorry.
End user. ADMS. Engineer Mike.
Attorney Frank, we are looking at the bid documents for our lang.
Sir Ernesto Uy, we will double check that the documents, sir, as you mentioned, sir. Yes, sir. Another question po.
Yes. One more, no? It's also a DUPA of the SPL2, the temporary facilities. DUPA of SPL-2, temporary facilities. In the summary below, the value added tax, the formula should be direct cost plus the total OCM and profit, where it should be C plus E. Ang nakalagay po dito is B plus E. So we hope that it should be corrected para it will be walang confusion.
Sige, sir. Duly noted on that, sir. Our engineers from the ADMS and the end user, sir, will look into that. And should there be a necessity, should it be necessary to issue a bid bulletin for that, sir, we will issue, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Pa.
Thank you very much, sir, for your queries. Secretariat, can we confirm if you received already the letter from...
Yes, sir. We already received the letter of Sino Construction. I already forwarded it to Engineer Mike Ilagan, sir, the letter.
Thank you. Engineer, Sir Uy, expect na lang po yung response na lang po namin doon sa mga written queries ninyo.
Opo, attorney. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe it should be in a bid bulletin.
Yes, sir. Yes.
For everyone.
Yes, yes, sir. Of course.
Thank you, Pa.
Thank you, sir. Engineer Mike, ready na tayo dun sa kay VT Lau na question?
Yes, sir. We are ready to answer the query of VT Lau.
Sige, before we proceed with the other question, sagutin po muna natin si VT Lau. Go ahead, Engineer Mike.
Stop share. Okay. Attorney Frank, Lors will answer the question.
Ganun po. Di bali po, sir, yung gagamitin po natin na PVC pipe. Ito po yung PVC sheet pile, sorry. Ito po yung gagamitin natin na specs. And then, kailangan po pasok po siya sa... Department Order 244 po ng DPWH for item 523 po, polyvinyl chloride sheet files.
Ma'am, these are included in the bid documents naman po, ma'am, no?
No, attorney. We will include it in the bid bulletin na lang po.
Okay, thank you. For the Vicente Lao, ma'am, we will just issue bid bulletin na lang po, ma'am, to address your query po, yung dun sa specification ng sheet pipes po.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Salamat po, ma'am.
Okay, sige po.
Do we have other queries, questions? Any other, ano po? Okay. Just a reminder po to our prospective bidders, our opening of bids is on November 5, 2 p.m. So you still have until, you still have 10 days, you still have time or opportunity to write us or write the BAC through our BAC secretariat. Mike, you're not muted. Yeah. You can write any queries or clarification in order for us to respond. So take note po, we are particular doon sa 10 days na 10 days before the opening of bids na submission or deadline for the submission of queries para po mapaghandaan po. Otherwise, we will not entertain na din po yung queries kapag ganun po. After na ng prescribed period. Any other po? So, kung wala na po, we hope to see you sa opening of bids and maraming salamat po sa pag-attend ng pre-bid conference for the Sangley Airport Development Project. Maraming salamat po.
Okay, thank you po. Thank you, attorney. Thank you, committee.
Thank you po.
Thank you.
Secretariat, may we now excuse our bidders so that we can proceed with the next project?
We will clear the room, sir.
Thank you. Are we cleared?
We are clear, sir.
Okay. So the next item is for the Bicol International Airport Development Project landscaping works with bid number 21-026-10 Charlie in the amount of 19,689,754 pesos and 89 centavos. A DOTR, an ADMS DOTR downloaded project. Do we have bidders for this, Attorney Irish?
Yes, sir. We have two bidders for this, sir. Miss Mary Chris Marasigan and Miss May Regala, sir. They have been admitted, sir.
Good afternoon to our bidders. Welcome to the pre-bidding conference for the Bicol International Airport Development Project for the landscaping works. For records purposes, may we ask you to state your name and the company you represent? May we start with Miss
May Regala.
Miss May Regala, please.
Hello. Hello. Good afternoon. May Talayo po from Horizontal Infrastructure Corporation.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Welcome. Next,
Thank
please.
you.
Miss Mary Chris Marasigan. Ma'am, please introduce yourself and the company that you represent.
Hello po, good afternoon. I am Engineer Mary Chris Marasigan po from Horizontal Infrastructure Corporation po.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Welcome. So the technical working group will now present the bid documents for the Bicol International Airport Development Project, which is for the landscaping works. Go ahead, ADMS, please.
Okay, good afternoon po. I'm Engineer Evel Satin from in behalf of ADMS TWG Charlie. Bicol International Airport Development Projects Landscaping Works. The procuring ITB Clause 1.0, the procuring entity is Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines. The name of the project is Bicol International Airport Development Project Landscaping. The identification number of the contract is bid number 21-026-10 Charlie. The ITB Clause 2.0, the funding source is the GOP through the source of fund of JA 2018 from the OTR downloaded projects in the amount of 19,689,754.89 pesos. For ITB Clause 3.0, Certificate of Site Inspection, Annex B form duly signed by Ms. Cynthia M. Tumanot, Civil Aviation Area Manager, Area Center 5, or her duly authorized representative is required to be submitted. This shall include of the following documents as attachment to the Certificate of Site Inspection and shall form part of the bidder's technicals document. Copy of company ID of the person who conducted the site inspection, copy of the airport facility visitor's logbook, pictures of the proposed site including the personnel who conducted the site inspection together with the airport manager or officer in charge or her duly authorized representative. Bids not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. This is the sample illustration of the Certificate of Site Inspection, Company ID, and Airport Logbook. For ITB Clause 5.2, for this purpose, similar contracts shall be referred to contracts which have the same major categories of work, which shall be landscaping or beautification works. ITB Clause 7.1, subcontracting is not allowed. ITB Clause 10.1, bidder shall submit all eligibility and technical document as specified in Section 10, Checklist of Technical and Financial Documents. ITB Clause 10.3, valid pickup license or special pickup license shall, in case of joint ventures and registration, small b license category C and D for road, highway, pavement, railways, or horizontal structures and bridges for the type and cost of the contract to be bid. Bids not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. ITB Clause 10.4, the minimum work experience requirement for the personnel are the following. For project civil engineer, construction foreman, safety and health officer, and 5 years in general engineering and 3 years in landscaping and or beautification works. Bids not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. For ITB Clause 10.5, the minimum major equipment requirements are shown on your screen. ITB Clause 11.1, the discount stated in the financial bid form shall be computer written with the same font style and sizes of the whole text of the said form. Discount that are either handwritten, typewritten, or computer written in other font, style, and size shall be not be considered. Bids not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. ITB Clause 11.1, the second envelope shall contain the financial documents for the bid as specified in Section 10 of Checklists of Technical and Financial Documents. This shall include the complete accomplishment of the following documents: original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form, bill of quantities, summary of bid proposal, bill of materials and cost and estimate, summary sheet indicating the unit price of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used in upcoming with the bid, and cash flow by quarter and payment schedule. Modification and or alteration on the stated requirements in the financial document forms, summary of the bid proposal, and bill of materials and cost estimates shall not be allowed. Applicable CAAP BAC standard forms included in this PBD shall be complied in accordance with the prescribed forms under Section 9 bidding forms. Bids not complying with the above instruction shall be disqualified. ITB Clause 11.2, bid exceeding the ABC of the project shall be disqualified. ITB Clause 15.1, the bid security in the form of bid securing declaration or any of the following forms and amount. The amount not less than 2% of ABC if the bid security in cash, cashier, manager's check, bank, draft guarantee, or irrevocable letter of credit. The amount 2 is the amount of not less than 5% of ABC if bid security is in surety bond. ITB Clause 16, each and every page thereof shall be initialed, signed, and by the duly authorized representative of the bidders. Submitted eligibility, technical, financial documents shall be properly marked with index tabs and must be sequentially paginated in accurate in the form, example, page 3 of 100, page number of last page of the document. Pagination should be sequential based on the entire span of the whole documents inside the envelope. Bids not complying with above instructions shall be disqualified. This is the sample illustration of the table of content. Index tab with initial sign must be sequentially paginated in accurate order. ITB 16, each bidder shall submit one original copies of technical, component, and financial eligibility documents. All envelope must be labeled as follows: the name of the contract to be bid in capital letters, name and address of the bidder in capital letters, name and address of the procuring entity, BAC identified in the ITB clause number 10.1, bear the specific identification bidding process indicated in invitation to be bid. Bear warning, do not open before the date and time of the opening of bids in accordance with ITB Clause 21. The procuring entity address is Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, Mia Road Corner, Ninoy Aquino Avenue, Pasay City. And our Captain Donaldo E. Mendoza, Chairman Bids and Awards Committee for Charlie. The address for submission of bids is Back Office, Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, Mia Road Corner, Ninoy Aquino Avenue, Pasay City. The deadline for the submission of bids is at November 5, 2021 at 2 p.m. The place of opening of bid is CAAP Conference Room, Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, and the date and time of opening of bid is on November 5, 2021, 2 p.m. ITB Clause 19.2, partial bid is not allowed. ITB Clause 20, bidder must be lowest calculated bid that complies with is responsive at all requirements and conditions, shall submit its latest income and business tax returns, business license and permits required by law, latest audited financial statement, and key personnel license. Failure to submit any of the post-qualification record time or finding against the veracity thereof shall disqualify the bidder for award. ITB Clause 21, the following relevant project documents are required to be submitted by the successful bidder who submitted LCRCB as part of the contract agreement during its signing: construction schedule, bar chart and S-curve,
PERT CPM network diagram, manpower schedule, construction methods, equipment utilization, schedule, construction safety and health programs approved by the Department of Labor and Employment to Bicol International Airport Development Project landscaping works. This is the sample of the CAAP BAC standard forms shown on your screen. Their bidding form. For the checklist and financial document, technical component envelope, for Class A documents, legal documents, valid PhilJEPS registration certificate from Securities and Exchange Commission, DTI, and CDA, mayor's or business permit issued by the city or municipality where the principal place of business of the prospective bidder is located, tax clearance as finally reviewed and approved by the BIR, statement of the prospective bidders of all its ongoing and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, statement of bidders, single largest completed contract similar to the contract to be bid, PCAB license, original copy of bid security, organization project requirements which shall include the following: organizational chart of the contract to be bid, list of contractors' key personnel, list of contractors' major equipment units which are owned, leased, and or under purchase agreement, original duly signed omnibus form statements, which include the following documents as attachment to the omnibus form statement: certification under oath attesting that they have no pending cases against the government, legal clearance to be issued by the CAAP Enforcement and Legal Service, bid bulletin if applicable, and certificate of site inspection to be signed and by Ms. Cynthia Tumanot or her duly authorized representative, which include the following documents: the company ID of the person who conducted the site inspection, copy of airport facility visitor's logbook, pictures of the proposed site including the personnel who conducted the site inspection together with the airport manager, officer, or her duly authorized representative. Or financial documents, the prospective bidders' audited financial statement showing, among others, the prospective bidders' total and current asset and liabilities is stamped and received by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institution. The prospective bidders' computation of NFCC for Class B documents, if applicable, duly signed joint venture agreement, and duly notarized statement from all the potential joint venture partners that they will enter into and abide by the provision of the JBA in the instance that the bid is successful. For financial component envelope, original of duly signed accomplished financial bid form, original duly signed bid price in the bill of quantities, summary of bid proposal, bill of materials and cost estimates, summary sheet indicating unit price of construction materials, labor rates, equipment rentals used in upcoming with the bid, cash flow by quarters and payment schedule. Okay. For project technical details, the project covers the supply and labor of materials, tools, equipment, and construction related permits necessary for Bicol International Airport Development Project, landscaping,
with the duration of 60 calendar days, inclusive of 5 rainy and workable days. The following scopes of work shall be done in accordance with approved plans, specification, and provision of the contract. Mobilization and demobilization, and pay under 608, placing of topsoil. The volume of the topsoil is the area, landside area of 2,698 cubic meter. For the PTB to 532 cubic meter with a total of 3,230 cubic meter. Sodding, the works consist varnishing and laying of live sod carabao grass on the areas indicated in the approved plans. The area of placement of carabao grass is the total area is the 24,312 square meter. For the softscape at the landside area, with the quantity of plants of trees and palms, 106, the shrubs and ground covers, 4,657, with a total of plants of 4,763. For the softscape at PTB, quality of plants, pots with pedestal of 28 pieces, shrubs and ground covers of 2,558, with a total of plants of 2,586 pieces. Okay. And all of the scope of work for the project must be in accordance with the approved plans and specification, quality, and types of materials must be approved by the CAAP project in charge. For general provision, the contractor shall be responsible for our laboratory material testing, building and safety permit, and survey instrument necessary in the project. These expenses shall be incorporated in the contractor's overhead costs and shall not be considered as pay item. For the site development plan, this is the site development. This is the area of landscaping. Ayan po. Mga naka-green. That's all, Mr. Chair. Thank you po.
Thank you, Engineer Eva. So at this point, the technical working group and the end user are now ready to accept or to answer queries from our prospective bidders. From Verizontal po, ma'am, kung meron po kayong query, tanong po.
From Verizontal.
Yes po, ma'am. Go ahead po, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So, hindi pa naman po kami nakabili ng bid-docs. Pero tanong ko lang po sana kung dun sa bid-docs may, may kasamang bid drawings.
Yung kung may kasamang drawings po kung magbibili na po ng bid-docs, ma'am. Tama po ba yung pagka...
Yes po, yes po.
Yes po, ma'am. Bibigyan po kayo ng drawings po, plans and drawings po. Bibigyan kayo ng USB na nakapaloob po doon yung plans and drawings po. At saka lahat ng pertinent documents related to this project po.
Okay, sir. Thank you, noted po. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other questions po?
Hello po. From Verizontal din po. For the similar contract po na projects, nakalagay po kasi dito landscaping or beautification works. Pwede rin po ba dito yung road rehabilitation?
ADMS, please. Engineer Eva, can we go to the similar contract provisions? Engineer Eva, ADMS.
Okay, attorney participation po Ay, so similar contract.
Yes. Versontal is asking if yung sa similar contract po natin na nakalagay kasi is let's see.
Hey, Nick.
Landscape or beautification work. So they're asking po if pwede daw ba yung sa road. ADMS, please.
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Go ahead, Engineer Darwin.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, please, go ahead.
Ang similar projects po natin nakalagay is beautification and landscaping.
So, we cannot consider yung sinabi po. Versontal, Ms. Marasigan, ano nga po yung pinapa-consider niyo, ma'am?
Yung road rehabilitation po.
Road rehabilitation.
Attorney, wait lang po
Yes, ma'am. We are checking.
Wait lang po, sir
Yes po, ma'am.
Attorney, may I?
Yes, Engineer Raul.
Query lang kay Versontal, kung yung bang case kinaklarify niya na roadworks is may major component na beautification and landscaping. Miss Mary Chris,
yes,
meron bang may component kayo doon na major component niya na beautification and landscaping doon sa roadworks?
I-clarify ko na lang po muna sa iba po na.
Okay, ma'am. So, but anyway, ma'am, if still kung after your clarification at your end po, may question pa din po kayo regarding then sa similar contract na yan, you can still write the Bids and Awards Committee clarifying yung ano niyo po. For as long naman, ma'am, yung project po, meron siyang major component na landscaping or beautification works, then po pwede po yan. Tama ba ako, Engineer Raul?
Pwede naman po yun, attorney, basta aabot ng 50%.
Yes,
yung
that's correct.
Sa landscaping niya, sa major similar project, ganun.
Check nyo na lang po, ma'am, yung component na yun. Kung aabot siya ng 50%, yung then po pwede siya. Kung hindi po aabot, hindi po din siya mako-consider kahit na may component siya na landscaping or beautification.
Okay po. So, record din po na magbigay din po kami ng BOQ nung similar contract po na natapos namin.
Yes po, attorney. Required, mas magandang maisama nila to identify yung mga major equipment ng landscaping and beautification. Pati yung computation nila, yung total, ang mga amount doon para ma-determine yung 50% doon.
So, is that clear po, ma'am? Especially kapag po yung project po ninyo, lalo na yung title or yung nature is hindi siya landscaping or beautification works, but only component lang siya ng isang project, you have to provide yung BOQ para ma-identify po at ma-compute po yung component na yon and malaman po natin kung aabot po ba siya ng 50%.
Okay po, thank you po.
Thank you. Any other questions po? Sige po, kung wala na po, we will be opening the submitted bids on November 5 and we hope that na mag-submit din po kayo para sa project nito, and kung meron pa po kayong mga katanungan, pwede po ninyong ipadala 10 days prior to the opening of bids. So we are a reminder lang po again sa inyo na we are strict doon sa 10-day prescribed period. So with that, we thank our prospective bidders for attending today's pre-bidding conference. Thank you. And you are now excused, ma'am. Secretariat, pwede na nating i-clear. Okay. The next item, I think we do not have other matters. I mean, as far as TWG is concerned, we do not have other matters. Secretariat, do we still have other matters to be discussed?
Also none for the Secretariat, sir. We will post our monitoring for the activities of the BAC Charlie procurement project, sir, in our Viber group. I think maybe later today, sir, we will just finalize the details.
Yes, please do so. Thank you. So, with that po, pinapaabot ni po ni Attorney Ro, pasensya na daw po, problema lang talaga siya sa audio niya. Maraming salamat po sa pag-attend sa meeting ngayon. Ingat po kayong lahat. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Stay
Good afternoon
safe.
po.
Bye, Attorney.
Thank you, Attorney.
Bye po, Ken, Ani, Ma'am Dayan, Sir Val, and user and lahat, technical working group and BACSEC. Salamat po. May merienda po, ipapahatid po sa mga offices ninyo.
Salamat.
Thank you, Attorney Marty.
Pati sa CATC?
Siyempre, ikaw pa, Ma'am Dayan.